You ever have one of those days where you just feel off, a little out of sync, like there's this deeper energy inside you, but you just can't quite tap into it? Well, today we're going to dive into this really fascinating idea from our source material, this concept of a vibrant, invisible life force that's in all of us. And what's cool is it's where ancient wisdom and modern science are kind of starting to shake hands. I just love how our source material kicks things off with this idea from its narrator, a fellow named Zoran. He says we're all part of a grand cosmic ballet. It's such a powerful way to think about it, right? It's a reminder that this life force isn't something you need to go out and get. It's something you just have to remember is already there.
So what exactly is this invisible dance? Well, the main idea is to think about life less like a machine with a bunch of moving parts and more like a river of energy, constantly flowing. And from that point of view, everything, your health, how you feel, your vitality, it's all just a reflection of how smoothly that river is flowing through you.
Okay, so that's the ideal. But what happens when that river gets dammed up? When the energy fades or gets blocked? This is where it stops being some abstract idea and starts getting really, really personal. It shows up in feelings that, let's be honest, we've probably all felt.
And this really lays it out, doesn't it? It's like looking at two different versions of yourself. On one side, you've got the fading spark. And yeah, we know what that feels like. The fatigue, that stiffness in the morning, just feeling disharmonious. But then you look at the other side, and that's your potential. That's you at your best, humming with efficiency, thinking with clarity, and just feeling aligned. All right, so that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do we get from one side to the other? How do we go from drained to vibrant? Well, our source material zooms way in, all the way down to the cellular level. And this is where it gets super interesting, because it starts connecting those ancient ideas about life force with what we're learning about the body today.
Okay, so here's a key idea from the source, bioelectrical. And honestly, this kind of reframes everything. You know, we often think of our bodies as these big bags of chemicals, right? But this perspective says, hold on, we're fundamentally electrical beings. I mean, think about it. Every single thought, every time you flex a muscle, your heartbeat, that's all powered by tiny electrical currents. So if you can optimize that electrical charge in your cells, well, that's the foundation for everything else.
And the analogy the source uses to explain this is just brilliant. It talks about an example of a wellness technology called Sunrise and says you should think of it like this: a super sophisticated battery charger for your very essence. It's not about forcing anything, it's about reminding your cells of their best, most energetic state.
So here's the deal. Your cells need a good electrical charge to do, well, everything, from taking in nutrients to getting rid of waste. And when that charge gets low, it's exactly like your phone on 1% battery. Nothing works right. So what a technology like the Sunrise mentioned in the source tries to do is gently retune those cellular frequencies. It's not about zapping them, it's about helping them remember their own peak performance.
Now, this is a really important point the source makes. This is not about forcing your body to do anything. It's the opposite. It's about being a subtle guide, just gently coaxing your body's natural rhythms back into sync. When you do that, your body's own amazing ability to heal and balance itself can finally take over.
Oh, and I love this metaphor from the source. It just makes so much sense. When your cells are running on empty, your whole body can feel like a dried up riverbed, right? Brittle, stiff, just stuck. But when those cells are charged up and hydrated, you become like a flowing stream, full of life, adaptable and flexible.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually mean for you? Like in your real day-to-day life? What are the tangible benefits of getting your energy back in tune?
Well, it's pretty much a cascade of good stuff. We're talking about real, natural energy, not that fake, jittery buzz you get from caffeine. Your cells get more hydrated, which means more flexibility and less stiffness. You start to feel more balanced, both physically and just in your vibe. And it even helps restore your body's natural rhythm for things like sleep and handling stress.
Okay, I know what you're probably thinking right now. This is all very interesting, but what does a session actually feel like?
From what the source material describes, it's super gentle. You're not going to get zapped or anything. You might feel a subtle warmth, maybe a little tingling, but what most people report is this incredible sense of deep relaxation. You know that amazing feeling you get after a really good meditation?
All right, next logical question. How long does it take to feel a real difference?
The big word here is consistency. You might feel a sense of calm almost immediately, but the source is clear that the really deep benefits, like better flexibility, they build up over a few sessions. It's like that great analogy. A river carves a canyon, not with force, but with patient, steady flow. Same idea here.
But this whole journey isn't just about relying on some external tech. The source also gives us some really simple, powerful things you can do all on your own to start reconnecting with your energy, like right now.
They're called the Dragon Trials, which sounds intense, I know. But don't worry, it's not a test. Think of them more as invitations. Invitations to become more aware. We're talking about super simple stuff, like really paying attention to your breath, or drinking water with purpose, or just pausing for a second during your day to check in with yourself. It's really all about learning to listen to your body again.
And ultimately, that's the whole point of this journey, isn't it? It's about shifting gears. It's about moving from just getting by, just surviving, to unlocking your full potential and really truly thriving.
Because that symphony of well-being is always playing inside you. The only question left is, are you ready to pick up your instrument and tune in?